right, and welcome back to San Francisco Liberation Radio News.
I'm talking about media tonight because we are a station dedicated to providing a voice, and there's going to be less of a voice, and I'll tell you why.
Top of the hour, 9 o'clock, broadcasting from the most beautiful city on the face of the planet, San Francisco, California. This is San Francisco Liberation Radio. My name is John Hell. I will be here until 11 o'clock. That is a guarantee.
This is the voice of America, San Francisco Liberation Radio. The true voice of America, I should add.
We thought about having a really small radio station at our house just for our neighborhood. So we decided, well, okay, we could clear everything out of the basement and put the station down there. I'm out of here for now. I'm going to turn on Enemy Combatant Radio for you for the next hour, and they are right now airing a talk by Noam Chomsky.
A radio station like SFLR, every show knows that a portion of it has to be public affairs. We are a community. You know, generally speaking, that's what you're going to find here. People who are very active. They are active participants in this event of life.
San Francisco Liberation Radio, this is going to be some underground lockdown. Stay tuned.
Micro radio has the power of less than 100 watts, so it's less than a 100-watt light bulb.
To give an idea of watts, KPFA was one of the largest FM stations, is 59,000 watts.
Going on, happening tomorrow night at New Langton Arts. Right.
You don't have to listen to it, but at least it's there. If you want to hear from a homeless person and find out really what's going on in the homeless shelters, if you want to, hear from queer youth and see what it's like to be in high school and be queer, that opportunity is there for you.
You've been listening to Out Loud Radio. I'm Heather Regal. This is Queer Youth News for the month of January 2004.
Out Loud is a radio project that trains young people to basically use the tools of journalism to express themselves, and it's especially for young people who would otherwise not get a chance to be heard in the media because of their gender identity or their sexuality.
You'll just say, today on Out Loud Radio, and then we'll play little clips of what's coming up.
It wasn't until we started doing that live show at Liberation Radio that the young people got committed to the whole idea and got excited about it.
Before we go any farther, let's have you do the piece that you were going to do.
It's our love. It's our beautiful love. Of our beautiful and blessed, yet USA guaranteed oppressed gay trans family, cause we're always a sucker for controversy. Living in this world of depression from oppression, living through still here and now hardcore civil rights rejection. Cause we give.
The mainstream media is kind of like this big fortress that nobody can get into, and Liberation Radio has decided, well, screw it, we're just gonna set up camp kind of outside the walls.
Here it is. The homeless house is in effect. Yo, the doors are open. Come on in.
Have you ever been homeless?
Once or twice in my life. Yeah.
This is a homeless house. Come on in. The doors open.
Were you forced to be homeless, or did you choose to be homeless?
So I was forced to be homeless for about 8 months. Okay. Until I could find another place.
All right. Well, you look like you're doing all right tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So there's hope for us.
There's hope always.
That's where my heart's at with this, A voice for the homeless.
They should really give to the homeless, the people that really need it. This is the homeless house. Come on in. The door's open.
We had always been, I guess, sort of cocky, thinking that these stations never get these pirate radio stations get threatened, but they always manage to survive. And then last fall, it actually happened.
I cannot believe it. Could you repeat that, please? This is breaking news. It's noon, October 15th. Could you please repeat that?
San Francisco Liberation Radio is being raided by the U.S. Federal Marshals.
And they are now removing your equipment.
That's what they're doing.
Down the stairs was rushing policemen, and there was a lady who was just yelling out, "Federal Marshals, we have a warrant, we have a warrant." Then the FCC came in and they just took everything apart and packed it up in their truck.
Then they started unloading, or loading back in the car all the tools that they brought with them, including like battering rams and pry bars and handcuffs.
We really did go through, after the raid, our station really, people's morale was really low. There were people who just left the station, didn't want to be part of it at all anymore. And I think that that was one of the goals of the FCC. By taking the equipment, they kind of took the heart of the station.
We pretty much had to go into hibernation because that was kind of our lifeblood, was having this place to broadcast every week. So for the last 6 months or so, there really hasn't been a place where Queer Youth has been broadcasting on the air in the Bay Area.
We're pretty options tonight, thanks to eharmony.com. Exactly right, but it's what would be and eastbayradio.com.
Men over 50 and men.
Previously on 93.7 FM, and now on the web, worldwide at liberationradio.net. Stay tuned.
We're an internet radio station, which is disappointing, but at the same time, we know that we must push on.
You're on worldwide internet radio. Yeah, I'm always running into people with $5 FM radio and the earplug. And they're asking if we're back on. And because there's somebody else out there in a shopping cart that really has a problem with putting a modem and a real player speakers and 2 dedicated phone lines and a couple of credit cards together so they can hear us on the internet.
Ever since the raid, a lot of other micro stations said, look, you guys have a large responsibility now. Everybody's watching you in the micro radio community. We are like one of the few stations that actually applied for a license. We're one of the few that have dotted our I's and crossed our T's. Our lawyers know this is the best case they have seen.
That's their favorite method. They just go in and seize the stuff, and they don't have to give you your day in court beforehand. Then you go to court to try and get it back, and that's very difficult. We think that's unconstitutional.
How has it happened that Viacom and Clear Channel, just to name 2, have really eaten up most of the frequencies? That is something that people really need to be outraged about. And I'm outraged that there's no place on the radio dial for a 100-watt station.
They, of course, say it's technical. We know the truth. It's the money. They will lose listeners to us when the listeners find that we actually have something real to offer.
I don't know completely why they picked on San Francisco Liberation Radio. Maybe because it was doing too good a job. It was too well known.
We feel if we play our cards right by going the route and playing their game, it may take a long time, but we're going to prove a point to them. We're going to prove that we have every right to exist. So we think that a very bright future is in store for San Francisco Liberation Radio, and we're going to be changing not only the face of media in San Francisco, but through our case, we know that we're going to change the face of media around the country.